sketch idea. It's just called God Has God, but with Alzheimer's, and then it's just like me dressed up as God, but like I walk around and look at shit and like, what the fuck? what the fuck?
It's like, God, why are you freaking out?
I want to do that. That's gonna be
like,
funny.
who made all this?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll write that one. we gotta buy a beard and get a robe. A red robe.
I mean, the cost of it would be pretty cheap.
Pretty cheap. Probably pretty cheap. I'm sure we could find a beard somewhere.
I love how I just burped into that microphone.
You burped? I didn't even tell.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you
Yeah.
hear me good?
I didn't hear
All
you
right, there we go.
burp,
Hey. So what is up, guys? We are here on a new episode of the the Aaron and John
the
show.
Allie and AJ show.
You would think I'd know the name of my own show, but I am John D. Klauser, one half of the host, and here is the other
Aaron Naylor.
Aaron Naylor, which you guys might know him from his art exhibit that's out right now called P and Me. Is that still going on? Because I know COVID and all that stuff. So
it is still going on.
Okay.
From a distance. So what I did, you know what I did.
Yeah, I know what you did.
So what I did though was I saved up my urine and then put Jell-O, clear Jell-O in it. And then I put mold. I made a mold, like a human-sized mold of myself, doing different things, like
oh yeah,
like hugging.
Oh yeah.
And then I put it in there, and they're just enormous Jell-O statues that smell bad of me,
but
doing regular stuff.
But the tint of the color comes from
it changes
your urine,
and it does. Yeah, so it's kind of like a great color gradient. Like the lightest is when I was really healthy that day. I drank a lot of water, and then it was a big fucking to do because some days I couldn't drink any water at all.
What was
to get
that?
the darkest pee.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Some of them were I got diagnosed with spinal meningitis, so I was peeing blood.
So that's how you were able to get your color.
That's wondering,
because I was like, well, if he only uses the color from his urine, I was like, how is he able to get all?
That's how I made the Kool-Aid Man.
Okay. Because I was like, some of what's so cool about his statues are the fact that there's so much color in them as well. Like in some of my mind, I'm like thinking like, oh, he used food coloring, he used like pencils or like markers,
paint,
Sharpies, something. Nothing.
It's all natural.
Dude, that's crazy. So where can people check this exhibit? I know right now it's in Kansas City. I know, is it going to be going nationwide or is it going to first go or Europe and then come back?
Well, next week it'll be at the Nelson.
Okay.
And then we've got to freeze all the piss.
Now, do you do that and do you have like walk-in coolers or do you just, because it's cold outside?
Well, because that's the only reason we could do it now is because it's so cold outside. So when we have unnaturally warm days, we have to put them in. We have to we don't have coolers. We have to go to like the nearest restaurant.
Okay.
And put them in there and walk-ins.
Now, do you have to pay for that or is it one of those?
No, we just don't tell them it's there. And then they see these giant piss ghosts just jiggling away.
Now, I know right now, like most of them are only, I would say with 3 to 6 feet. Do you plan on trying to do any small ones, like miniature ones or giant, large ones?
So the next exhibit is going to be it's titled From Birth, and it's going to be me as a sperm and then gradually growing up.
Okay.
Basically.
To who you are now.
To who I am now as a 5'10" man.
Okay.
But then there's also the evolution of that, which will be what I look like if I was taller. And then I'll do it until what I think I'll be when I'm 75, what I think I'll look like when I'm 75.
What's inspiring this one?
My recent diagnosis of jaundice.
And then
so
what was
already turning yellow.
Oh, so this has been. So has it always been the P and Me exhibit?
It's always been inside of me, yeah.
The P and Me exhibit, and then the new one From Birth. Those ones, have they been inspired from your diagnosis?
Yes, directly.
And then, do you know how? What were you on? Was this happening when you went to that trip in the Amazon? Because you were doing all that research for Because you said you were doing some research for some art project,
Mm-hmm.
and you went to the Amazon and hung out with a bunch of like different tribes.
A lot of artists in the tribes that I would hang out, and they had different ways of making molds out of their urine. And they didn't stop there. They used their own feces. And some of the more secluded tribes use blood.
Mm. Now, was there
Why
any of
not?
them that used just like, instead of just using like bodily fluids, they would use
Like mud?
or like
No.
leaves or anything?
No.
No,
It's only body.
only body.
That way it's not waste.
Now, from what I know, is like you are probably one of the most advanced artists in this thing. Is there other people in
Pretty
this?
far ahead, yeah.
Is there anyone else in this sort of genre or
Not
niche?
in my wheelhouse. Not in my wheelhouse, baby.
Not in your wheels. Do you plan on making any wheels out of?
Well, that's going to be a part of 15-year-old me in the From Birth exhibit.
Okay.
So I'll be making an exact replica of a 1992 Oldsmobile. 'Cause
Okay.
that was the first car that I had. So the wheels will come.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, what inspired? Like, what made you choose doing these pea gelatin molds?
It's watching my pee go down the toilet repeatedly, day in and day out, my entire life
Mm.
has made me think like, well, there's more. There's got to be more to this.
So,
So this was the natural progression.
so how do you even collect it? Your urine. Have you did you always done your? Has you ever thought about doing other people's urine? Having people like bring you urine or PO box you it?
I certainly should, because it would cause a lot. It would take away a lot of stress from me and my bladder.
All right. Okay. I think we
So
did like about
if you want to go see
7.5
P and
minutes.
me, it's at the Nelson on the lawn.
Yeah, you can't do it out. You can't do it inside.
Well, the big get for that was they were like, okay, well, we're not gonna just you got to do something for us. So I had to make a big pea shuttlecock for him to put it on like
man.
not perpendicular, but parallel of the actual shuttlecock. The whole place smells terrible now. It's amazing. It's honestly kind of it's a dream of mine. Oh, there it is.
Now the mood is set.
Merry Christmas.
There we go. We have to do the whole thing over again because the lights weren't on.
That's fine. You'd think I'd have a bigger bottle.
It's because for P and me,
Yeah.
part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Part 2.
So Aaron, how are you doing?
I'm all right.
Good. Anything new with you?
Not really. No. How was your holiday break?
Holiday break was all right. Can't complain. It wasn't really much of a break.
Mm-hmm.
This because this whole year has been just weird.
It's been one big break
Pretty much.
for all of us.
And
What a
so
blessing.
I just worked. I
Yeah.
worked Christmas.
Cool.
I had to work Christmas Day because I work with a bunch of senior citizens.
Mhm.
So who's going to feed them?
Wow.
I have to feed them.
You have to. You want to feed them.
Oh no, I want to. I would
Okay.
travel hell and high water for them.
Whew, that's good.
Whew. Of course. And then New Year's, I'd had a Foster's beer.
Yeah.
It
So
was-
how was the big boy?
It was all right.
Big
It
old
wasn't-
Jimmy.
I mean, like the taste wasn't what you get that for. You
No.
get it because you can drink 2 of them and you're gonna get.
Because they're $3 for an enormous can.
Yeah.
A couple of them, 2 for $5 or
Yeah.
something at Quick Trip.
Mhm.
Man, what a fucking deal! I remember I used to just bang
I
that
think I
shit.
get those at
Not
Walmart.
Foster's. Foster's was always at the bottom of the thing for some
Mhm.
reason, and I never even looked that far down. I would get big cans of Miller Lite.
No.
Those are so hard to drink. It is so bad. It's so fucking terrible.
Yeah, those.
If anything was gonna make me go sober, it would be the fact that I've drank so many of those and on just regular weekdays.
Yeah, because when we did the beer and friendship show, we'd buy like 2 of those each. We'd buy
Go to town, yeah.
and then
Well, we'd get the shittiest stuff we could get. We get the six pack of Natty. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was Natty Light, and then regular Natty.
and we would just.
It was so cool living next to a Quick Trip.
It was right up the street.
The best.
In retrospect, it was a good
You
place.
still kind of live close to a Quick Trip though, but not that close.
Not that close.
I don't live fucking close. The closest one to me is probably the one by your house. Or no, I guess the one on Rainbow Boulevard, but I don't want to go down there.
Mm-mm.
That's all. It's weird.
That's a weird one. That's a weird location
Weird.
one.
Yeah, it's by like a fucking.
It's by that Mexican restaurant, like Margaritas.
It is by Margaritas. Yeah, it's by a coffee place. I can't remember. Casey Roastery or
Oh yeah.
the one with the plane.
Artisan coffee.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one with the plane on it.
Mhm. Oh, roasted. Yeah, roasted.
Roastery. Is that the one?
Roastery. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't drink coffee, but it's also by like a grain elevator, which is pretty exciting. It's where they get their rice for the rice cakes. You like rice cakes?
I love rice cakes with I put
Peanut butter on 'em?
peanut butter and bananas.
Health nut.
Mhm.
Health nut. That's
Health-
what you say whenever you come.
Mhm.
Health
Oh,
nut.
healthy nut, healthy nut, big old healthy nut. I've talking about nuts. I've been taking zinc because I read that zinc is a good thing to help prevent COVID,
Oh yeah.
and because it just helps with your immune system.
Mhm.
But do you know what one of the big side effects of taking a lot of zinc?
COVID.
No.
What?
It's it makes your loads big.
Oh.
I mean, like comedically huge,
Really?
like
That's
humongous.
great.
Yeah, they're very large loads now. Like just a fucking just rain. I'm not kidding. Like this
Raining
is.
fire
I
over.
swear to God, it really is one of the side effects of taking
That's crazy.
zinc. Is
don't know
that
if I've
for
ever-
men? Is that it just produces? You just produce more. Your
Yeah.
prostate produces more of the liquid
Wow.
that caught for semen. It's just a side
Pretty
effect.
sure I've got zinc in the multivitamin I take, but I don't know. I'll have to
Yeah, I
check.
take
I'll
I
have to
take a
check now.
multivitamin that has zinc in it, but then I also take an additional
Yeah,
zinc.
Yeah. Jesus, you really want that.
And then I
fucking
take
load.
two servings of fiber.
Mm.
Then take, was it 2,000 milligrams of fish oil,
Mm-hmm.
a D3, and was it vitamin C?
Mm.
No.
I take what did I used to take? I used to take a few, but specific now because I don't like the vegan thing is like you're not going to get as much B12 and you're not going to get as much iron.
Mm-hmm.
So I take B12 and iron, and then I would take a multivitamin with all the other shit in it. But now I just found one with B12 and iron in it, so I just take that one. It's great.
I liked
Man.
going vegan and vegetarian. I liked it. It's just fun. It's just like,
Easy.
but for what I want and like with the physique I want,
You can get it if you.
I know
you're
it just takes
vegan,
longer.
but
It just takes a longer time.
You just
I
have
just
to
don't wanna
change
do it.
shit, and you have to wait to change shit. I guess.
Sounds
There's
good.
plenty of vegans. Schwarzenegger's a vegetarian, but I think he eats eggs. Eggs are weird, man. We put those in cakes.
I know.
Who thought of that?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. The French.
They're
probably.
birds' eggs. It's a fucking bird egg.
Dinosaur egg.
It's like people think it's a dairy because it's in eggs and all this other shit.
Right.
It's crazy. I've thought about this forever. My whole fucking career as a human. Just why? Why are these so good with this other stuff with flour and sugar and what else? How do you make a cake?
Flour, sugar. Then you have frosting.
Put the frosting.
I mean,
in the
like you
mix.
can use baking soda.
Yeah, baking stuff.
What else would
But
you
like
use?
the eggs are the
Yeah.
thing in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the shit that fucking and you make whipped cream with eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Wild.
You make mayonnaise with cream.
Mayonnaise with eggs. Yeah,
Because you take
it's crazy.
oil, like olive oil,
Mm-hmm.
and then you take the white,
yolk,
and then you
yeah.
slowly mix it in, and then while
Yeah.
you're doing that, you just slowly whip it. But you have to do it super slow because if you
Mayonnaise.
do it too fast, then
Eggs
it
are fucking insane.
it breaks it.
Oh yeah.
So it
likes-
splits them to two. But yeah, it's just like what the fuck. Yeah, it is weird how eggs are like in so much different
They're
things.
bird eggs.
Yeah.
Bird egg. Also, they really took the fucking word egg and ran with them. Nobody calls them chicken eggs. They're eggs.
They're just
Everybody
eggs,
just knows. Why don't we start using quail eggs or something? Start using quail eggs too.
Mm-hmm.
Ostrich eggs. Get one of those. Buy an ostrich
Turtle
egg.
eggs.
Turtle egg.
Have
Not
you
even
had
a
turtle
bird.
soup?
No.
The idea of eating a turtle is gross to me. It seems like it'd
Have
be
you
really
had it?
chewy. Mm-mm. I've never had turtle. I never had the idea of having turtle.
Yeah, I don't even think of it as a food ever.
Yeah, I don't think of it either as a food.
Well, if that's the thing that breaks my veganism, it'll be turtle soup.
Would you try it if someone had it?
No, probably not. Probably. I feel like the most exotic thing I've eaten was alligator, which isn't, and bison, which isn't exotic.
Yeah, bison's good.
Bison's good. Alligator was really
Elk
good.
is
too.
really good.
Yeah, I imagine. Deer was good. Venison's good.
But with elk, you have to be really careful. You can't cook it that long.
Gamey.
It doesn't take that long to cook.
Really?
Yeah, so you have to be careful with it.
If you guys writing this down, keep it give it to your parents or whatever. We can write a cookbook. You want to write a cookbook?
Yeah.
You just howl like a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Why not?
Play the video.
All right, hold on. All right. I totally forgot about this video too.
Why?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys, this is the Aaron Show with your hosts, Aaron and John Mouse.
What was going on there?
I don't know. To tell you the truth, I have no idea. It just was
Like a fight in a Chinese
it's just a
restaurant?
random ass TikTok that I screen grabbed.
That was insane. That was like a fucking Jackie Chan movie.
Have you ever been into a really crazy brawl like that before?
No.
No.
Mm-mm. The only time, well, I guess like a mosh pit, but that's friendlier. They actually care about like your well-being.
Slightly more controlled.
Yeah, if you fall, somebody picks you up.
Right.
But it did kind of remind me of the food fight we had when I was a senior.
You guys had
You
one
were
too?
gone, yeah.
We had one, I think my junior year. Remember the one that Patrick Moore had? Was it Patrick Moore? Patrick?
Oh, yeah, it was Patrick Moore.
Yeah, Patrick Moore. Because I forgot that we know two different Patrick Moores.
Yeah. Maybe it was. Shit. Well, I remember, I think Matt. Oh, Mel, yeah. So it would have been. For some reason, I feel like Matt Haller was a part of it too. So he wouldn't have been there.
Well, he was
senior
one
year.
that, yeah.
So it was, yeah. So it was our freshman year then. Why did I think that was?
Was it
senior
your
year?
freshman year?
Your sophomore year.
Was it my
freshman
sophomore
year?
year?
That's what
Okay.
you said. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. It must have been, yeah.
I feel like we had one my senior year though.
You guys could have.
I don't remember.
But it doesn't seem like
We were
your
so
class.
fucking
Your class
lame.
was always. Your class
You're
was
so
pretty.
lame, man. So fucking lame. But like I say that, and I knowing full well that I was pretty lame in high school too, like in terms of doing shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
The craziest thing I did was bring a bottle of Jack and give it to a teacher who was quitting.
Who?
Proctor. Corey had gotten it from one of his sisters, and we put it in my car, and then Proctor parked. We were like, all right, park off campus. So we parked in front of like the Penrod house,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, all right, he told us like the keys it's unlocked. You can just go in there, and we just put the bottle under his passenger seat,
That's nice.
and that was it.
That's
Yeah, we
awesome.
were like, see you, buddy. So that was cool.
What is he doing now?
I don't know. I have no
Yeah.
idea. Probably still teaching. I don't know.
God,
He was a
he was an interesting guy.
revolutionary. How old was he?
He had to.
24, 20. He looked old because he was going bald.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows?
Remember Rothenberger?
Roethlisberger?
Rothenberger? Rollenberger?
Oh, Roth?
Something like Rollenberger.
No, because I think
He was he was a social studies teacher. He was a history teacher.
I think he quit. I didn't have him the year that he was there.
Oh, he was my freshman year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
'Cause he quit the next year.
yeah, he was only there 1 year.
Because that's why Proctor came.
That's true. You're right. That is right.
Yeah,
because of
'cause
my
Proctor was only there for 2 years.
then my sophomore year, like my sophomore junior year. Yeah, because then I was in his class.
Because Proctor also taught personal finance. And something else. I can't remember what else he taught, but some American history and then personal finance.
Nothing was learned in that class.
No, we would just go to the computer room and play Halo. Somebody, I think Henry Lutz, put Halo on all the computers in the computer lab or whatever.
I
That
remember.
was cool.
Remember Henry? Oh man, Henry was in our grade. Then
Yeah.
he got held back, and he
Mhm.
ended up being in
My grade.
your grade.
Yeah, he would like hack the school.
Yeah, he would do it all the
he
time.
knew. He was really smart. He knew what he's doing.
And then, are you friends with him on Facebook?
I think I am, but I'm pretty sure I unfollowed him years ago for whatever reason.
Oh man, he's a great follow.
Really?
He's interesting to
What's
parachute
he
into his
do?
life. He's always in hospital. He's always
He had like Crohn's or something.
yeah. Also, he's a lot of like drug and
Mm.
mental issues.
Yeah,
God bless him. Like I have I have
Sure.
nothing. But he
Yeah,
was
I
a really
did-
good friend of mine. We were
Oh,
in
really?
like the third grade.
okay.
Yeah, like we'd spend the night over each other's houses all the time.
He was like one of my first friends when I was in choir, like in junior high, I think,
Mm.
or freshman year. I can't remember, but because nobody else is in there
Mm-hmm.
that I really cared about or knew, because it was a lame thing to do for boys.
It was so people looked at you so weird. Like the only thing I didn't mind doing choir because it was
Yeah.
just kind of an artsy little thing to do. The only thing I hated was then we had to sing in front of the school because
Yeah.
my friends would be
fun of
like, "Wow, John,
Yeah.
that was real cute. You spent
funny.
weeks learning how to do that, huh?"
They suck.
Wow.
Fuck them.
Like, yep.
That's
love
so
that- I
stupid.
love those guys.
Nobody ever made fun of me for doing that shit, ever.
Yeah.
Your friends were more like sporty guys though.
Oh yeah, we would just bust each other's balls. We bust each other's balls all the time still on our group
Yeah.
text.
But like mine were like they played sports like McCaffrey and Tim and Corey, but they weren't jocks.
Yeah.
You know, like I know like Hoffman would make fun of people all the time.
Oh,
He
yeah.
had a mouth for sure, and he's funny. Like he was good at it,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like you're not even that good at baseball. Like you can barely throw a fucking ball, dude. Does he listen? Does he watch this?
I don't know.
Oh man, I hope
He
does.
might not. They usually like. I tell my friends all the time. They're like, I don't watch a lot of stuff that you do. I'm like, yeah, like you know me.
Yeah, why would you?
Like, why would you ever want to check out any of my stuff that I do? Like,
All right, well, good. Michael Hoffman was really bad at baseball. Like, really bad. He was a terrible catcher. He couldn't throw. Oh, man. I remember, like...
smart though.
No, he's great. I love Michael. I saw him
He's a PE teacher now.
a couple years ago at... it wasn't a couple. It was the end of 2019 at Strange Days Brewing in the River Market with his, like, rugby team or something. He does rugby.
Uh-huh.
And it was McCaffrey was there, too. It was for our 10-year reunion.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, Hoffman just happened to be there, but that was cool.
Back when you could do things.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, it was pretty funny to watch like the people in your grade play baseball. Like Kyle Elder was probably the best, and he wasn't very good. Like,
Yeah, because we were better at football and
for
basketball.
sure, yeah, baseball wasn't like a cool sport.
True.
Wheeler, Steven was good. Steven was really good.
Oh yes.
I forgot about Steven, but
He's like a third cousin of mine.
oh really?
He's somehow related to my
Wow,
family,
wild.
but he
Yeah.
was like weirdly related to everyone in our town.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of what I am too. But Steven was really good, and he was probably Eric Rowe was terrible at hitting. That's why I hit for him. But he was really good in center field. Michael was terrible. Grindstaff didn't play, which is probably for the best. Who else was in? Elder wasn't very like bad defensively. He was terrible at first base, but he was tall. That's what pissed me off. Like I would see all these tall guys. Like they tried to put Josh Driscoll at first base before me because he was left-handed and tall. Terrible. He sucked. And he was 2 years younger than me. Fuck that
Why
guy.
left-handed? Oh, so you can reach out
They
more
can
out here.
tag if they if they
okay.
want. So like when the pitcher throws over, which always happens in high school baseball. Nobody fucking throws over and holds a runner on at first base in high school baseball because they fuck it up every time.
Yeah.
It's a hard
It's a hard
motion to
thing to
get
do.
down, especially
Yeah.
for a 15-year-old who doesn't even throw 50 miles an hour.
Unless you're like Cass and Void.
Well, yeah, if you're a fucking freak athlete like Eric Humes or Ryan even. Yeah, but
Yeah, Ryan was a freak
Ryan's
athlete.
really good, yeah, even before the drugs.
He did drugs.
Yeah, he was on roids.
Oh, he's on roids. Yeah.
Yeah.
I assumed he's on roids now.
Pish posh. He was great though. Even before all that shit. Man, fuck. I could have been something, man. I could have been big.
He
I
was
am
good.
big,
He was great. He was a great quarterback.
for sure. Yeah, he got like all state twice.
He was really fun to block
Wild.
for.
You were running back, right?
Well, but we played West like West Coast style, so it was a lot of just like play action.
Oh yeah.
So the quarterback, it's like the same thing like how what fucked up Cam Newton. Like he was the best athlete, so he's the quarterback, but just simply because he's the best athlete doesn't mean he can throw the best. It's just because he's just athletically gifted the best.
Reggie Bush.
And so it was a lot of play action.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, well they're gonna do, and then he would just run with it a lot of the time.
It's weird when you see guys like I said Reggie Bush because he was an incredibly good athlete, but wasn't like incredibly good at any position. He was good at it, but he wasn't like he wasn't elite ever.
Right.
As a strictly a running back or strictly a receiver. But he had it all. It just wasn't like fucking, full blown. It's crazy to see those people because they are like the quintessential athletes, but then they just kind of have decent careers.
Crazy,
Bo Jackson too. He was good at baseball and good at running back, but he wasn't like supreme. Like he was never the best at either.
He was just a freak athlete.
He's a freak athlete. It's amazing that he did what he did.
Yeah, it's insane to be able to play 2 professional sports
on those knees. Frank Thomas could have done it. He was huge. He was the fucking defensive tackle, I think, at Auburn too.
Yeah.
First, he was 6'4",
See how big he is? Yeah, like
huge.
Good God, dude. Frank Thomas was I remember seeing him remember during the steroid era, his arms were
he wasn't on steroids though.
Oh, that was all natural?
Yeah. Well, Frank Thomas is like one of the few that's never been brought up.
Yeah, that's the one because he
played
was
football.
but he was just freakishly.
He was just huge.
Yeah. But everyone thought he was on steroids just because he was naturally big.
He was huge. But also like that's the other argument for steroid users is that they start doing it at the end of the careers and then because usually they decline when they get about 34, 35, and then it's just a slow. And that happened with Frank Thomas because he would keep getting hurt because his body was too big.
Yeah.
But then by the time he would regress a lot. And then he came back and had a really good season when they stopped putting him at first base. But
just let him hit.
Yeah, just let him hit. He can fucking do that all day, but he wasn't like the same guy he was in 94 or whatever. Yeah, like Barry Bonds, his head growing 3 sizes when he's 39. Come on. That's insane.
I remember learning about Frank Thomas.
Frank Thomas.
Frank Thomas. Because this guy was
this restaurant.
There was a guy who lived 2 houses down, and he lived there for like a couple months in like a random one of those houses.
Yeah,
and he was from Chicago. And he's like, yeah, Frank Thomas is playing. I'm gonna watch the Chicago game. I'm like, who's Frank Thomas? I'm like, you don't know who Frank Thomas is? And that's when I was like, oh my god, his fucking arms are huge.
He's enormous.
He's a fucking huge man. And that's how I learned about Frank Thomas. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he was the only. I had a White Sox jersey, and I hate the White Sox because they're the Royals rival. Yeah. But I had it because it was a Frank Thomas shirt jersey. He was cool as fuck, dude.
Frank Thomas.
Love Frank Thomas.
And then,
Hall of Fame.
And then Jermaine Dye went there and won a World Series.
Oh, yeah. He had really good years with Chicago, too.
Jermaine Dye was great. I remember when he was so good for the Royals, but then they just don't want to pay him. So he's like, well,
I don't even remember who we traded him for.
Didn't he go to the White Sox and then he went to the Red Sox?
Well, he went to Oakland and then he went to the White Sox.
That's what it was.
Because Damon went to the Oakland too. We traded him to Oakland, I think.
Yeah, because we traded all the good players to Oakland.
Pretty much. Well, even in the Carlos Beltran trade, we didn't trade him to Oakland, but we got people from Oakland because Houston sent people to Oakland, and we also sent somebody else to Oakland for like 2 people. Baseball trades are fucking weird.
Remember Kevin Napier?
Oh yeah, he's great. Kevin Napier is amazing.
He went to Oakland too. Didn't he end up going to Oakland? Or did we get him from Oakland?
He came up with us.
Okay.
He came up with us because I think he was also from around here.
Oh, really?
So
Kevin Napier was from around Kansas City?
I'm pretty sure. But yeah, he was drafted in the first round. And I can't remember who the fuck he played for now after us.
I thought it was Oakland.
It may have been. I really can't remember because I get him and David Cohn mixed up because David Cohn was kind of the same stuff. But yeah, we had like Kevin Napier was like stupid good, but played on a bunch of terrible teams, so nobody cared.
Seattle.
Ooh, that's even worse. Go to his baseball reference page, the first one. Yeah, so like 54.5 WAR. wins above replacement.
Uh-huh.
That's really, really, really good career-wise. Oh, he's from California. Okay.
Mhm.
But
Lansing,
I
I
think
know that
David
is
Cohn was
Lancaster.
from. I get him mixed up with David Cohn, so I think David Cohn was the one from Kansas City. I could be wrong, but anyway, he was like
Great New York pitcher.
Yeah, for the Yankees.
He did go to the.
He won like
was,
2.
He was
World
with the
Series
Royals,
with them.
wasn't he?
Yeah, we drafted him,
And then,
and then
he won stuff in New York. He
Yeah,
won
I
stuff in
think
New
he
York,
won a
and then
Cy
went
Young
in
here,
Boston,
too.
and he went to Boston. Then
He was with a bunch of teams.
Yeah.
He bounced around. He knew what he was doing. He was like, yeah, anybody who wants me for 1 year, I'll go.
I totally forgot that Cohn
Mhm.
was. He was a farm person from the
He's really good.
Royals.
It's weird to look back like at the teams that we had back in the years that
Because
were
we
garbage.
had all the good players.
Not
the Royals,
necessarily
the Royals
all of
had,
them, but we had a lot of like guys that people just forget. Like even especially pitchers. Nobody cares about pitchers, especially Royals pitchers. But like we had Kevin Apier and David Cohn like in their prime, which is wild. Like
and couldn't do anything with them. But you didn't have anybody
Yeah.
else.
couldn't do
And that's
shit.
back when you bought everybody.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that. Yeah, that was when free agency like was really starting to pop off. Look at that face. Just
I know. He just looks so.
I'm with the fucking Royals.
What?
That sucks. Yeah, he had a good career. He had a really good career. David Cohn too. Yeah, I can't wait till baseball's back. I keep forgetting because every year I drudge through winter because I had to work at the airport and it's like but now I realize like it's already like almost halfway done with winter. This is fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like baseball's gonna be back in 2 months. Huh.
Yeah, we're like. It sucks though. Right now, it's like football's almost over. We only have like 4 more weeks,
sure.
5 more weeks, maybe. No, 4 because they're not doing the. What do they call it? The Pro Bowl.
Oh yeah. So they're
This
not
year?
doing the 2 week between the
I'm assuming they probably will, but we only technically have
till
4 more
February
weeks,
8th or
5
whatever.
if you really want to count that bye week.
Yeah.
But that's not going to be. I'm assuming they're going to have it. They might not have it.
Is hockey back? Every year hockey is back with basketball, so I assume hockey's back.
I don't think it's back. Is it back yet?
I think it is. I got to get back into hockey, man. I keep wanting to buy hockey jerseys. That's going to be the main thing that I get a dumb little like part-time job for, is to buy all the stupid shit that I wanted to buy had I kept like a better job or was making money doing comedy. Hockey jerseys are so fucking cool. I almost wore a hockey jersey
yeah, they're
tonight.
already playing.
Is it? I got to watch
Oh, January 13th.
That's when it starts?
That's when it started.
Okay, cool.
Or when it starts, yeah.
Dope. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, I really want to get back into hockey. I've been saying that for fucking 18 years, basically.
Yeah, I don't really know much about any of the players now, except
don't either.
Crosby,
yeah, and those are guys
then-
that were around when we were.
yeah. And Las Vegas
Young.
Knights are a team now,
Mhm.
and they're really
Seattle
good.
got a team.
Seattle has a team?
Yeah, they're starting next year. They're the Krakens, dude. They fucking their logo is dope as hell too. It's like a fucking kraken. It's not like a kraken, but it. Yeah. So Seattle has a team, and then.
It's kind of funny. That's the first thing that comes up before I just put
Krakens?
Seattle and it said
Really?
Krakens. It's kind of funny. I wonder if Google's listening to us.
Well, it's probably because you searched hockey before that, though.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it's maybe it's like a ladder kind of thing. Did you see the logo for him?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like paying attention to this.
This is
whenever,
actually the ball
cool as hell.
Holy shit.
Well, like that one, the third one is the actual logo, like one of them. So the S that looks like tentacles or whatever.
Yeah, that one?
That's the one.
Okay.
So like if you go to their website,
What's
you can. I
this
think
one,
you can
though?
see the whole cabal of them. Those are fake. There was one that they sent a bunch in, like fan submissions. So like the Kraken thing was a fan vote, I think.
Right.
Well, they had a fan vote and like took the top 5, whatever. And one of them, and I've seen some of these jerseys on the internet around, like people are actually buying them. They were the Rain City bitch pigeons.
Pigeon?
Yeah. And it's just like it's a pigeon or bitch bird, something like that. It's a pigeon in a raincoat. And I really want that hockey jersey. I think it's funny. But the Kraken is a very cool name. Eventually, Kansas City is going to get a hockey team. And probably a basketball team. Have you seen the what's it? Our mayor talk about wanting to get a basketball team here. Quentin. He was trying to get the Raptors to come down and play in the Sprint Center because they couldn't. Rain City Bitch Pigeons. That's it, baby. Hell yeah.
That's
That's
really
the
cool.
one. It's great. Hockey jerseys are so cool. But yeah, Mayor Quentin was like,
That's
it's
actually a
like
bomb.
holding
I'm
up
gonna
its
get. I
legs.
should get one of those. Those are actually pretty bomb.
Hockey jerseys are cool.
They are really cool, and I've always wanted to buy one. I just never.
Well,
actually took time
they're
to-
not practical.
No, and they
They're
look
hot.
heavy as
They're
shit.
heavy. They're not as hot as you'd think they would be. Like, but because I was thinking about wearing one tonight, I'd put one on.
You have one?
I have like 5.
Do you really?
Yeah, I have a few from when I was.
You
a
should
kid
wear. You
that
should
still
wear
fit.
those when you do your sparkling water. You should have
I
like
might,
a theme,
yeah,
like
I
a
probably
certain
will.
kind of vibe.
But the problem is they're expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
So like that one's $75. It's not even a real team.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to look like at official ones, they're like $200.
Mhm.
It's like, why the fuck would you want to pay? Because they're like heavy. They're like actual
Thick material.
sweaters.
Yeah. Is that what it is made? Like sweater material kind of?
They're called hockey sweaters, but it's like a thick jersey material.
Yeah.
Because they got to be warm on the hockey rink.
The bitch pigeons.
Yeah, I can't wait until Kansas City gets a hockey team and a basketball team.
Well,
Less so
we
the
have the
basketball
Mavericks.
team. We do have the Mavericks. I would like to go to a Mavericks game, but the owner of the Mavericks is Clark Hunt's kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So, and he wants an NHL team here, but I don't think he has enough interested parties to kind of form like a group.
A group.
The NBA and the
chairman
NHL
board.
have used Kansas City as leverage for so long to like two cities who won't build teams new stadiums.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Sprint Center.
Well, I know. So like they built the Sprint Center because
They
the
thought the
NHL
Thunder-
and the NBA would always use us as leverage to
Mhm.
these other cities. And then we built a fucking state-of-the-art, arena in 2008. Nobody came
Yeah.
because they'd rather use us as leverage because it wouldn't be a bad city for either of those sports.
Right.
And they know it.
Yeah, especially
that's
we have
why
the
it's-
Chiefs and the Royals have won
Yeah,
World Series within
exactly.
the last 10 years.
Yeah. So like in 2008 when neither team was that good, I mean the Chiefs were all right. They had Trent Green, I think. But neither team, the Royals were terrible. So
Mhm.
like the selling point was like, oh, this isn't really much of a sports town, but we could be with you guys. Like now it's a sports town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think and sporting too. The soccer team.
Have you ever been to a Sporting KC game?
I have, yeah. It was when I moved back from Tucson. I hung out with a buddy I had years ago that went to. He was friends with my first girlfriend, like when years back. So he went to North Platte, and he was like, "Hey, I have I have an extra ticket if you want to come hang. Like we'll pregame and all this shit." He's a cool guy, but yeah, dude, it's like I try to think about this because I've forgotten about so much of it. We got smashed, just fucking. I got ripped, and the stadium's cool as hell. Like I've been there, also for a concert a few years ago, but it's awesome. Like it's a great place to go, and it was cool to see a sport that I don't even like.
Right.
Because I think the game ended in a 0-0 tie, so it wasn't even that exciting. And I spent like $30 on a pulled pork sandwich and all this shit. It wasn't like the experience itself was fine, but it was cool as hell to be there. Also, almost blacked out drunk. That was the best part. Was I was hammered and I didn't care how shitty everything was. Yeah. I think that was a year after they won the championship, maybe.
Okay.
I can't remember. I didn't even know.
They won the
City,
championship.
Well, I didn't know they had a team in the MLS when they won it. It was like, 13, I think, 2013? Yeah,
I
and then
believe so.
2 years later, the Royals won. And then 5 years later, the Chiefs won. We're the new Boston. Not quite.
So,
Oh, yeah, you've got stuff.
well, like, so you
Got
remember
on
when I
tangents.
texted you a couple, like, it was like maybe like a week ago
Hmm.
about, I didn't know Hamburgers in Paradise was a song.
Yeah, I do remember that. I was like, yeah, because
You're
I
like,
was
welcome to reality, bro. Like, where have you been?
what What'd you think it was? Just a restaurant?
I thought first I was like something about like Dayton posted something and he had that song Hamburgers in Paradise and it said Jimmy Buffett. I'm like, Jimmy Buffett? I'm like, is that the guy from Omaha? That billionaire? And so I was like, who is this?
You didn't even know who Jimmy Buffett was?
I thought Jimmy Buffett was Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
That was where my mistake first lied. And so
That's huge.
So I went on this dive with Jimmy Buffett. I'm like, Jimmy Buffett. I'm like, how did he make all this money? How did he become a billionaire? Was it from this song? Like, because I've heard of Hamburgers, but I just didn't know.
I think it's Cheeseburger in Paradise, isn't it?
Whatever, what the fuck it is. And because of Margaritaville.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
what
did
it
he make
was.
all that money from Margaritaville? Is this a Margaritaville guy? Like, how the hell did he make all this? How did he make $1 billion off of this song?
$70 billion off Margaritaville.
Well, no, it wasn't that guy. And then come to find out that Cheeseburgers in Paradise was a song. And I'm like, what the?
Cheeseburger in Paradise.
But the thing is, it's such an odd song because it's like about him being a vegan and then having the
is it?
urge. At the beginning of the song, it's about him having being a vegan and having the urge to eat a hamburger.
Yeah.
Then it goes to Hamburgers in Paradise.
Is he
like
a vegan?
in the song,
Yeah.
he was, or whatever. Because his songs are all these weird premises. Have you ever listened to his music?
Pretty much just Margaritaville, I think. I think my dad had a
You could-
greatest hits of Jimmy Buffett a long time ago.
You can hear the anger.
Yeah.
He has a lot of anger. He's like those really clean comedians who never cuss, and you're like,
Like hit their
you're
wives.
hiding some
Yeah.
anger, and that's why you do your art the exact opposite of what you are. Is what you're trying to do, and I feel like that's what it is. He's a very angry
I wonder
man.
if he's ever had like some kind of scandal.
I don't know.
I have no idea. I don't know enough about Jimmy Buffett. I
Well,
know that he's like mega fucking rich, so like he's no Warren Buffett, but he's loaded because he's got Cheeseburger in Paradise as a restaurant, but Margaritaville is a fucking multi-million-dollar restaurant chain. Have you been to a Margaritaville?
no.
Man, they are weird. It's like an Applebee's, but that only sells margaritas. Jimmy Buffett. Where is he
James
from?
William Buffett,
Oh, Jimmy Will.
born December 25th. Oh, he was born on.
He's a boomer. He's a Christmas. Happy birthday, Jimmy.
Yeah. Musician, author, actor, and businessman. He is best known for his music, which often portrays an island.
Holy shit, dude. You read so like below it. He's also a businessman. Obviously, he's got the
Right.
Margaritaville Cafe restaurant chain and helped co-develop the Cheeseburger in Paradise restaurant chain. Buffett is one of the world's richest musicians with a net worth of $550 million.
Holy shit.
That's insane.
What would you do if you had $550 million?
Nothing. Ever.
If you got it from being a comedian and you like,
Oh,
you had
God.
you had like your whale joke, right? And it
Yeah.
went viral, and then you started having like, Blue Whale Cafe or something like that, and you had like that, and
Sperm Whale Cafe.
yeah, some stupid name, and then you have another joke about what did you? Okay, actually, I need to ask you a question. Do you have a joke? And and if it's your joke, I don't mean to burn it on the podcast.
Whatever.
But do you have a joke with Dumbo in it?
Yeah. My nephew, my sister named my nephew Dumbo because he's got big ears and he's never going to know who his father is.
That's where it is.
That was
Okay,
the
that's
first joke
where
ever told.
that's
stage.
where I've heard that joke. That's where I've heard it before.
Well, I
'cause
used to do it like whenever, I feel like when we hosted our show like 6 years ago or whatever, I'm pretty sure I was still doing it back then. But after,
that's because I had
stopped
because
doing
I
it.
was like, like when I first moved to the States, kids used to call me Dumbo because I have big ears and I'll never know who my dad is. And I'm like, but when I wrote it down, I'm like, that's because it came too easy. It was like, it just like, I'm like, because it just flowed. It normally takes me a couple steps to like get to
put it together.
Yeah, but that one just kind of, I'm like, this doesn't make. I don't think I wrote this. Like, I feel like I've heard this because like, I sleep with the TV on and podcasts and all that stuff. So I'm like,
That's so funny.
I'm sure this has come through me.
So yeah,
But
some,
I didn't-
parallel.
Yeah.
I didn't even
fuck.
think about that though. Because my nephew, like that joke is kind of partly true. Like he doesn't have big ears, but it's amazing that he knew who his dad was at all, because my sister was fucking awful. I mean, they were never like married or anything either.
Right.
So what is his name? Dad's name's Justin. So he knows that guy.
Nice.
Good for Dumbo.
My dad's name starts with a J too.
What is it?
Jose.
Oh, okay. Jose for an Egyptian guy?
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
Egyptian and Greek. But I think he's like Joseph. I think everyone just calls him Jose.
That makes sense.
Because I think he likes Latin women.
Because he hangs out in
Yeah.
Latin America.
So I think that's where it comes from. Because Jose is Joseph.
Close to your name.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Amazing.
Great man. Has a stripper girlfriend. And again, stereotypical in a lot of different ways.
What a life. What a family.
So much fun. You think it'd be fun to learn all this stuff about you. I get all these questions. I have all these questions. I get the answers to them, and then I learn them. I'm like, I wish I would have never have learned any of these. Fuck.
Oh, something funny I just read on the Jimmy Buffett thing is that his band that joins him that he tours with is called the Coral Reefer Band.
Wow.
Dude just likes to get ripped and sing about the ocean.
Yeah.
He's
That's
having
really what
fun.
it all
He's
are.
getting drunk and fucking getting high. He's just living life, man.
Because in Margaritaville, he talks about his slipper. No, his sandal broke, and he's cut his foot on a bottle cap.
He's wasting
Pop
away
cap.
in
That's what he said.
Margaritaville.
Pop cap.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's interesting wordage. Pop cap.
Pop cap used to be,
I'm like, you definitely, that shows your age. It's a
more in the
dated term.
lexicon, yeah. Nobody calls it, not as many people call it pop. I think about that sometimes, like soda and pop. I try to call it soda, but I'd rather call it pop. You know what I mean?
Pop. I call it pop.
Pop's more fun. It's less syllables. It's easier to say.
Soda.
Weigh in the comments.
Please.
Pop or soda? Coke. Coke's one. So did you listen to Cheeseburger in Paradise then?
Yeah, I listened to it a lot in a row. Because I was
Really
super
get it
baked,
down.
and I was also just like, what the fuck? I sent it to all my black friends,
Yeah.
and they're like, got about 10 seconds into it, and I was done. All of them.
You guys know this? Yeah.
Cheeseburger Paradise.
There used to be one at the Legends.
Really?
Yeah. It was like close to Hooters and Yard House and all that shit. It closed down though, unfortunately. It's crazy because it's right next to a NASCAR track. You'd think that Jimmy Buffett's just not country enough for Wyandotte County.
I didn't think that I don't think we're his demographic. It's a little too inland.
Probably not. Yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah, that does make sense. Nowhere to kick back and take in the beach in old Kansas. Is there a beach in Kansas? There's got to be some
Long
kind of lake.
Beach,
Long Beach in Kansas?
like Long Beach College.
Fuck, what?
There's a beach there, man-made beach. I'm
In
pretty sure.
Kansas?
I'm pretty sure. We're
Yeah.
about to Google
I
this.
mean, Long Beach College is a college.
Because I'm
in
sure
Long
that's.
Beach.
I think that's how they got his name. Was because there's a beach. Because even I was like, "There's a beach." Long Beach.
I mean, I assume there would be one like on a lake or something, but I don't know where one of those would be either.
Is it in
river.
Kansas?
What?
Is that school in Kansas? Long Beach.
Fuck, dude, I don't know. You thought of it. You came up with it.
Have you heard of Long Beach Community
No.
College?
Longview.
Longview. Maybe that's what I'm thinking
That's
of.
what you're thinking. That was a Metropolitan Community College one.
Oh, is it really?
Mm-hmm. They were one of the like 5 community colleges that were under MCC.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
Now
that
there's
was
just
in,
one
like,
giant one,
Raytown,
right?
Though. I thought it was in Raytown.
Wow.
Yeah, Long Beach
Longview.
College is a college in Long Beach, California. Isn't it California?
It was in Lee Summit.
Oh, okay. We're all over the place. We don't know what the fuck's going on. We're just kicking back.
Having fun.
Did
Did you have any New Year's resolutions?
No, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I feel like that's like for like kids.
I think read more. I want to read more books. I've got a bunch of books that I've just read 15 pages of and never read again. So I'd like to read more in general. And then like start doing like Patreon stuff and actually trying to do like independent artist shit and make money off of that.
Yeah.
Hopefully. So we'll see. Because I am running out of money. It's pretty fun.
It's pretty fun, right? We have that interview tomorrow,
I do, yeah.
and then you'll be able to be
at a grocery store
for like a bagger or what?
No, what it was is a personal shopper for people who order stuff online, I think.
That'd be,
So I would
that'd be
just
perfect for
putting
you.
shit together. Yeah,
See
and
what-
I love Hy-Vee. I love that grocery store.
Nice.
So
Family owned.
Yeah, employee owned, I thought. No, is that Price Chopper?
I don't
One
know.
of them. Whatever. It's all Price Chopper. Price Chopper owns the world. But yeah, Hy-Vee is dope as hell.
Is Hy-Vee underneath Price Chopper? Or are
no,
they really?
no,
Okay, I was
they're
like,
different.
don't think they're the same.
No. I don't know where Price Chopper is based out of, but I know that Hy-Vee is based out of Iowa. But yeah, it'll be just like a part-time job, fuck around thing. But the Berry Road one, which is a good one. Big fan of that one.
This is the one with the gas station.
It's one at the gas station.
It's very nice part of town.
I miss working at a grocery store. I worked at Sharps in Weston for years.
You know what? I think there has to do with the fact that, like, because you're a comedian,
Mhm.
and I think same for me. The reason why I like working in the kitchen is because it's like you get to meet a lot of different people from a lot of different aspects.
Sure, yeah.
Stories. You get a lot of stories.
Mhm. I just like doing something that I know I'm familiar with. In grocery stores, I'm pretty familiar
It's
with.
easy.
It's easy. And it's
super
probably
easy.
going to be easy. Yeah. I'm hopeful that it happens because it's not going to be like a fucking like a real job. Like,
Right.
It's just like a 25-hour a week, if that.
You just want short amount of hours.
Yeah. And they were like, you can kind of. I read a bunch of reviews about them, and the people who work there were like, you can just kind of pick your hours whenever you want and show up.
Nice.
Whatever. Management's kind of iffy, but it's a fucking grocery
What
store.
are-
Most of the
like,
people
yeah.
who work here are like teenagers. Gives a fuck, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I'm interested at the very least. I hope I get it, man.
Yeah.
I want to work at a fucking grocery store again. That isn't a Sunfresh
You should
in
like
Westport.
they're like, oh well, Aaron, like, why do you think you should work here? Like, what? And then you just like you push and you play this podcast. Like, I
Yeah.
just really want to work at a
I
grocery store.
love Hy-Vee.
Yeah, I love it. I just love Hy-Vee so much.
My enjoyment I get in grocery stores is weird. I like buying food. It's cool.
Nice. Do you like Walmart's better?
No, I hate Walmarts. I don't hate Walmarts, but I don't like Walmarts. I like a good produce section. That's one of the reasons I like Hy-Vee, because they have a bunch of weird shit and a bunch of other stuff that's like good.
Nice. Okay, I'll
Yeah.
give you that.
I like that stuff.
Nice.
I like the fresh shit. If I could work in the produce department, I'd do it, but they weren't hiring there. So.
Damn.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Come on, take me. I love produce. But yeah, that's my dream job. Working at a grocery store till I die. We got big boy.
Everything else, like, I guess you're not on any dating apps. No.
Oh, did I tell you? So, I was looking for like online jobs that I could do, and one of them was, I don't think I told you this. So one of them was this website. I can't remember what it's called now, but it's what it is people with dating apps who are like bad at it or whatever. They will contract out their accounts
Username. Yeah.
to writers on this website, and then they will write the stuff for that person, like the responses, their bios, everything. Though of course they'll get the information from the person to write, but I didn't get the job.
Right.
I was never particularly good at dating apps, but they had me like write a test app, kind of a test, whatever the fuck test thing.
Right.
And I stunk it up, but it was super weird. Like it was just it felt so scummy, I guess, you know? It felt so disingenuous. God, I really wanted it just because I wanted to see if I could actually do something that lame. But, oh, God.
It's funny how mine, like, because I still have like my profiles up, and I have the same like bio for all of them. So it's like I just have bullet points. It's like just bullets. It's like filmmaker, half
Loves
Honduran.
bullets.
Yeah, half Honduran, half Egyptian. Have a scar on my forearm from fighting a raccoon
Oh.
during the summer of 2018. So a guy
What are you
almost get
fighting
a.
a raccoon for?
I knocked it out with a metal piece of with a
That's
metal
right.
pole. Yeah.
Good lord.
So the guy almost get a banana shoved up his butthole by 2 strippers in Tijuana, Mexico. True story.
Wow.
True story. I also got a hand job that same night from a
Is
Mexican
that also
stripper.
in that?
No, it's not. I don't say that because I told that on a date once, and I
Yeah.
immediately could feel the moment when the date went bad. And it was right after me telling her the story. She laughed
Yeah.
because she's like, "That's fucking gross that you got a hand job from a Mexican stripper."
Hand job seems pretty tame for Tijuana.
And the last bullet is I accidentally dosed my dad with LSD once.
Did you? How'd that happen?
That was in Hawaii.
Mm.
He
You just dosed them.
no, he accidentally ate the starburst.
Oh, I think you told me about that.
Yeah.
God, that's fun.
Good times.
Yeah,
Good
I would differentiate my bios on each one. Like I would change them up just for no reason, just to fuck around with it and see if anything happened because of it. Nah, nothing really happened. But
I don't think you would really read them. I think women read
Yeah.
them more than guys, but I keep kissing this goddamn microphone.
yeah, you're getting all horned up reading your fucking profile. Stay away.
I hate that HDMR or whatever the fuck that's the.
Oh, ASMR? HDMR is really high definition ASMR.
Yeah. Oh, it's close.
Best mics. The best microphones in the world.
Like that.
Use
It's so
HDMR.
gross.
I think it's interesting. This isn't like a sexual thing for me, but I've always liked the sound of people walking, like shoes on ground,
Oh yeah, like in
movies or whatever. Just like women's shoes are the only ones that are hard, like made out of like wood or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it just sounds like horses or whatever. I like that shit, but I don't jerk off to it.
No.
I don't jerk off to it.
Not yet.
I jerk off to porn of naked women walking in loud shoes.
Click, click, click.
Yeah, dressed as horses.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I am what I am.
He is
I
what
am
he
as
is.
the Lord has made me, and he made a mistake. He fucked up. God, he blew it.
So I thought a really cool movie concept would be having a mentally challenged person
Good start.
during the Holocaust
Great.
that's a trans woman.
Like man to female?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it?
That is also gay.
Male to female who's a lesbian.
Like that's male going to female.
Who likes women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why does she have to be mentally challenged?
Just I thought it'd be an interesting thing.
Like
'cause
Down syndrome or just like autistic?
It could be either. Probably autistic would be easier.
What's it called?
Trans Holocaust.
What? God. What happens to her? Does she is like a like
She's
she makes it through?
during the what I guess it'd be during like when they're in a concentration camp,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the struggle of like trying to stay alive and trying to fight, trying to figure out like who she is
Mm-hmm.
as a individual, but also
In the camp.
in the camp, but also trying to get food
Yeah,
and trying
to
to survive and
survive.
not get gassed.
It may have to take place like towards right before the liberation of the camps.
Yeah.
Because they did just like kind of fucking systematically kill everybody, especially if they like knew that they.
Or
were.
would it be more interesting that it's just during World War II and like she's just fighting to find her place during this war?
What if she's like
And the
running?
World War II is a metaphor, and the
Yeah.
Holocaust is a metaphor of like being trapped in thyself.
Thyself. Yeah.
Because you're in a camp, you're
I don't
basically
think
like.
she has to be mentally challenged though.
I just did that just to see if I
Yeah.
thought it'd be it's more powerful, and
Or
I
it
went.
adds
I'm
more
trying to
to
win an
it.
Academy Award here, Aaron.
Yeah.
Because
you're
what's
right.
more would be more appealing than knowing that you co-wrote a story that had to do with a mentally challenged Holocaust.
I'm sure there was somebody in one of the camps who almost like checks all those boxes.
Yeah.
But,
And we need to tell their story, Aaron.
well, I'm assuming that they were killed off pretty quick.
Right. Oh,
Chances are they were also Jewish.
Yeah, most likely.
You gotta come up with a better name.
Trans-Canada Highway.
What's her name? Susan.
Isabella.
It's a good name. Isabella's a great name. It's a good name for the movie. Is Isabella?
Isabella.
Izzy.
Izzy.
Bella. Can't name it Bella because of Bella Thorne.
Yeah.
People are gonna think it's a porno.
But that's what. Yeah, I thought that'd be.
Start writing, bud.
All right. I'm glad you said that, and I just like give you like a.
Here it is. It's like miles long.
It's like Roots. It's like just. It's supposed to be like a. It's gonna be a 7-day,
like a short mini series.
Yeah, 3 hours long. Each episode is 3 hours
We
long.
made 3 movies. All right, well, cut them in half. Make it a big fucking. So what if they're doing that with Lord of the Rings now? Make it into a TV show on Amazon. Huge budget, like $500 million.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Huge. I think it's gonna be pretty cool, but I don't think it's gonna beat the movies. Like the movies are great, but
No one asked for this.
if they dive deeper into like the lore of all of it, I think it'd be interesting. I don't know anything about that kind of stuff in that particular universe,
Right.
but I think I always love when shit like that happens. Like when that's why Game of Thrones was so interesting, is because it had an actual history to it. And Lord of the Rings has a history to it too, but like they only could make movies out of it. Like with The Hobbit, they made 3 movies out of 1 book, which was stupid. It was a cash grab the whole time. But Lord of the Rings, like you could make a ton of different shit with just those books.
Right.
It's wild. So what I'm saying is, we need to write an epic fantasy novel starring Isabella. It could be, though. That reminds me of. Have you seen Pan's Labyrinth? By by Guillermo del Toro? You gotta watch that movie, dude. It's fucking awesome.
Is it?
Del Toro's great. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, he won Best Director
For
Underwater, or
what the fuck was it called? I was thinking about this the other day. I couldn't remember. The Shape of Water.
Shape of Water. Yeah.
I never saw that, but I heard it was obviously.
You never saw Shape of Water?
No.
Oh, it's really good. You should see that. You should see that. I love his style. His style is it's almost cartoonish.
I like his
like
movies.
What's Eating Robert Rabbit? Who framed Roger Rabbit?
He was on that?
No, that's what it feels like.
Yeah,
it's like that style.
Well, those are the kinds of movies I liked of his, that because he does like traditional horror stuff too. Or not traditional, but like I guess Hellboy 2 wasn't that, but the Crimson something. Fuck. He made a movie called The Orphanage too, which I always wanted to watch, but it was only in Spanish, and I don't think it ever came out here. But well, it obviously came out here, but I never saw it. But Pan's Labyrinth isn't like a horror movie; it's more fantasy. But it's about this girl whose stepdad is like a military leader in Spain or in Central America, one of the two, and like in the World War II era when everybody was like getting overthrown and shit.
Right.
And he's just an awful person. So it's basically about her just trying to escape, like as a kid. She's 10. And she like, you can't really tell, like it's blended pretty well. I mean, it's like all in her head, like all this shit that's going on, but it's pretty like realistic. It's wild. It's a great movie. You should really watch it. Yeah, I need to see The Shape of Water for sure, because I do like that guy, that director.
Yes.
He directed video games too.
Really? Huh.
He co-directed. He was going to start Silent
thought.
Hill again with the guy who made Metal Gear Solid, because he was one of the guys who made Silent Hill. But then that got scrapped. So then he ended up helping the guy on his next game with. He had like one of the guys from Walking Dead in it. It's weird. There's a bunch of video games now that have like actual actors in them. Not that voiceover people aren't actual actors, or video game actors aren't actual actors.
Like actors you would know.
Norman Reedus from Walking Dead, who's
All right.
like a famous person, was in that game. You played as Norman Reedus basically. I don't like that. I don't care for that very much. give it to the people who have been acting in video games for years.
Right.
And that's the stand I'm going to take today.
Good. Well, Aaron,
Go
with that,
see
we've hit
Pan's Labyrinth.
we hit an hour. We were at an hour and 4 minutes right now.
Yes.
Do you have any plugs? Anything interesting that you'd like to?
Yeah. My buddy Max Fine and I have a new Zoom show every Friday at 8 o'clock. You can buy tickets. It's $5 for the tickets. It's pretty cheap. We weighed the options of selling tickets or doing donations, and I feel like selling tickets is probably a better thing for every party involved. But you can go to assemble.com. It's ASEMBL, and that's where you'll find the tickets. It's called Inside Voices. Also listen to Bitchin' Through Time. We're about to be on the Pitch podcast network. That's coming out at some point. Cool Baby Podcast is part of the John Clauser podcast network. That's out on every
Network,
goddamn
Tinoco Productions. Tinoco Productions.
Tinoco Productions. John Productions.
Should be John
I know.
Productions. Actually, that sounds way better.
John Cubed. But that's Cool Baby is on Spotify and iTunes and everything else. I'll also I'll have a Patreon out soon, so if you want to support that, you'll get T-shirts, and whenever my book comes out, you'll get that too. So, Johnny?
Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. You should follow me on all my social medias at John D. Clauser. It's literally the same name as the name that you subscribe to on this YouTube channel. And what's so great about this YouTube channel is that you get this every Thursday. This one actually will be coming out on a Friday.
Pish posh.
Oh well, it's because it's the first one of the year.
Worth
And
it.
on Tuesday, you get the John show, and then every once in a while you get the Cool Baby video, and then you should check out the Cool Baby. I produced that for my buddy Aaron over here. And yeah, be safe, guys. Have fun. See you guys on the next episode.
Say goodbye.
Bye.